You can't catch me on the run, cause I'm gone, yeah. I blaze trails, set fire to what's behind me. No, I'm never looking back, I'm on the run. I could only ever be what I'm made to be. Feels good when I'm living on the edge. Watch me now, roll like thunder, gonna shake the ground. Can't stop me now, I don't give up and I won't back down. I'm a force of nature, can't be contained. I got lightning running all through my veins. Watch me now, watch me now.
Hi, my name is Wyatt Milam, and I'm from Canova, West Virginia. When I'm back home in Canova, you will find me at my local Parmar store.
We had that golden boot pride at Parmar. There are literally hundreds of Parmar stores in West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and even more on the way. Download the Parmar app to save even more. And whether it's food, gas, groceries, or whatever, we have you covered at Parmar. West Virginia proud and ready to serve you.
And if there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
And hello, Mountaineer Nation. I'm the Wolfman, Dale Wolfley, and this is a Wolfman's Call, and it's straight to the point, baby. It's live. Yeah, we are live right now, and now that the football season is over, we're going to have many more opportunities to go live. And today, I just wanted to talk about. I didn't plan on coming out here today, and I just had so many hits about the transfer portal. We're going to get into that a little bit, but I just wanted to say, hey, and let's talk a little bit. Let's see what's happening. Let's get a pulse. Let's get a feel. It's turning into Christmas time. I love Christmas lights. I love it at Christmas time. I love getting presents. Even better to give presents. And I actually mean that. I'm not just giving you a line, because it is a rewarding, wonderful, beautiful time. And I just love the lights. I love the feeling. I love it. Baby Jesus was born and all that he brought to the earth and the incredible times. So again, welcome to the Wolfman's Call. I'll tell you what, I'm excited today. But before I get excited, I got a few announcements I want to make. A lot of things going on. I know Portal Day and all that's going on at WVU. And like I said, we'll get to that in a second. But first off is the special announcement. We have a Wolfman's Call coming up this Friday. I have Tom Bradley. Now, I'm on the Pigskin Stew with Tom Bradley every Thursday, or have been during the season, and it's on ESPN 970. And we do a weekly talk show, and we do we call a 5-minute blitz. But I've known Coach Scrap, Tom Bradley. He's going to come on the Wolfman's Call. 30-plus years at Penn State during the time of Joe Paterno. He's also been at WVU. He's been with the Steelers. He's been with UCLA. He's been an interim head coach at Penn State. He's been a defensive coordinator for a number of years. Huge guy. This is an old school guy. So he's going to come in. He's going to talk. He's funny. He's fantastic. And here's the story behind it. The real story is that Tom Bradley was my recruiting coach. He recruited me to Penn State. Now he's good friends with my brother Craig Derry up in Pittsburgh. And they're just really tight and good friends. And so it all comes back. And Tom Bradley, I just had the great time of being with him this year, and Jay Paterno on the Pigskin Stew, and a couple other guys from Penn State and Pittsburgh, which we won't really talk about. But, you know, the beauty is this. You don't know what's going to happen in life, and you don't know what's going to come back around. You know, when Joe Paterno called me at halftime for the national championship game, I almost committed to Penn State. I mean, I was practically there. Thankfully, better, cooler heads talked me making a better choice, and I did. I made a great choice in going to the Mountaineers, and that's where I'm here. And I made some tweets and some social media outputs there, and basically, tongue in cheek and talking about what an honor it's been for me on this transfer portal day to have played for WVU, to have coached for WVU, to have been a fan of WVU when my brother Ronnie was here, to have been all that I was as a coach, as an administrator, as an alumni guy, as a broadcaster. So many things in life about WVU. And so that's why I'm so happy. I am happy to be here. I didn't like the football season, but that's over. This is a happy day. This is a reset day. Reset that button, man, because that's what this is. Neil Brown, this is your opportunity to go out and entice the coaching staff, entice these boys to come in, because you have to win at the transfer portal. You have to win. So I'm not upset about who's leaving. I'm not upset about any of it, because this is our opportunity. We now understand the rules 100%. And we understand what happens if you don't play by those rules and get what you need to do, or win by those rules. Because that's what you have to do. The key is not only X's and O's on Saturdays or Thursdays, it is also winning the transfer portal, and now it's about winning the NIL. So at West Virginia University, they have a very, very good basis, Country Roads Trust. And we're going to talk about that as well, but a lot this winter. Country Roads Trust, and we're going to have some special events. But again, Tom Bradley's coming on. We're going to talk about all those wonderful things that's going to happen here at WVU, because good things are coming. You got to hang in there, because good things are coming. And here's something that's really cool. Maybe some of you heard that we had the Mountaineer Legends pregame for football. And before every every game, we had a Mountaineer Legends. And it was sponsored by Parmar Stores as well. We thank them, our brothers at Parmar Stores. Well, now we're coming at you. We're going to have Mountaineer Hardcourt Legends. Yep, Wolfman Productions is going to be bringing it to you, Mountaineer Nation. We're going to have Daryl Prue, Damian Owens, Dale Blaney, just to start David Ligori. Sam, we're gonna go ahead. I'm talking, bring them all in, man. Herbie, all those guys, just bring them back. The Legends, man, let's bring them back, and let's have a pregame 2 hours before every game this year. Again, it's called Mountaineer Hardcourt Legends. I'm looking forward to it. Now, that's sponsored by Parmar Stores, Dan Cabot Toyota, and Country Roads Trust. You hear that? CRT. And I know that Dan Cabot Toyota and Parmar Stores are both tied in, and we may have another sponsor or two. That's got to come on. And I see that we got Coach Chris there. He came up there and put that. Hey, have you ever seen Coach Chris' show? He goes, I think it's live. Coach, you got to put up there on the media. I think it's every Wednesday or Thursday. I can't remember, but I always share it when I can, and I usually listen to it when I can. So if you're not watching Greg Christ or Coach Christ on his show, you're missing out. All right. What other? Oh, we got another big announcement, another big one, and that is WVU football alumni is jumping in the boat, and they're going to be doing something really special in January to go ahead and help Country Roads Trust. You hear me talking many times. I love my young brothers, my young Mountaineer brothers out there, and what they're doing, and they're fighting, and they're battling, and I'll stick by them through and through. Do you know what? So does all the alumni, and they consider them all to be young brothers. You talk about Brian Joswiak, big bad Brian Joswiak. You talk about Daryl Talley, Major Harris, Aaron Beasley, Mikey Callis. You go down the list. I don't care who it is. Danny Moses is going to be coming on. There's going to be so many people coming into the WolfMan's call, but the WVU football alumni wants to stand up. They want to participate, and they're going to. They're going to, and we're really, really excited. Big event coming in January. It's going to be sponsored by our football alumni and run by. It's going to be involved with a lot of good things. So look for that showcasing. And I'm going to tell you this. when you see a whole bunch of alumni come together. I was the alumni guy for 14 years at West Virginia University. And I'd get guys that would be, there's basketball, it could be any sport, because they wore that WV, they wore it with pride, and they represented West Virginia, the state. Because they did that, you could go from decade to decade, and you wouldn't even know it except by looking at them. Some would have regular hair color, some would have gray hair color, but it wouldn't matter because they all were the same in how they interacted with each other. It felt like they were all Mountaineer brothers, because you know why? They are Mountaineer brothers. And that's the point I'm trying to drive home. So when you see the WVU alumni coming in, the football alumni coming in and making a roll, country roads, because if you don't win NIL, you're not going to win. NIL plus the transfer portal plus X's and O's on Saturdays. That's how you win. And obviously that means recruiting in there with the NIL, with the transfer portal. So don't say, hey, you got to recruit. No, I know. That's what I consider that to be part of it. But that's Thursday. Wait. Okay, so Coach Chris, thanks for Thursday. Coach, I tell you what, I don't think I'll ever listen to your show on a Wednesday, so I think you're right. Now that I think about it. Coach Chris, hey, he's got a new show coming out. He's about ready to get things going. He's got some, hopefully some corporate sponsors kicking in. And this dude's going to be all over the court. And I will say this also, Coach Chris, I think I was the first guy that he ever had on twice on his show. Maybe it's changed since then. I know that Darryl Talley has gone on and Coach went off with him and, had a man crush on him. And I understand that as well. But I was the first, baby. The first. Okay, let's go ahead and let's jump into this because I'm ready to have some fun. I'm ready to talk. And when we have these live sessions, I certainly, just like Coach Chris was coming out there and giving his 2 cents right there, I'll go ahead and come on in, man. Make a question. If the question's good, I'll use it. If the question stinks, if it sucks, if it's a cheap shot, I'm not going to acknowledge it. Maybe I'll block you. I don't know. Anything can happen. I mean, there might not even be that many people watching. But regardless, the point is this, is get ready because we are going to start having these live shows. And I want to participate with you, Mountaineer Nation. I want you to come with me. I'm Dale. I'm Dale Wolfley, man. I'm the Wolfman. And I love WVU as much as any one of you. And I want to share that with you. I want to share what I love with you because that's who we are as Mountaineers. I put out a tweet today and I said, you know what? I had the great privilege of playing for Mountaineer Nation, of wearing that WV. I had the great privilege. Privilege. And with that being said, there also comes a lot of, you got to wear that and you got to represent. And when you do, that means what has come before you. And if you don't know what's come before you, how do you know who you are or where you are going? It really is an interesting question because if you don't know your personality, you don't know what people expect of you. You don't know where you're going. And that's where WVU football, the legends, they come in. And that's where we get the hardcore, right? The Mountaineer hardcore legends are going to come in. And I love it. Darryl Prue, man. I'll tell you, that guy has got stories. And Damian Owens, watch out. Dale Blaney, we'll talk. Maybe we'll get some race car driving going on right there. All the good stuff, man. This is what I love because we're a community. Again, I was the alumni guy, 18 sports for over 14 years, man. 12 years. Take it back. I was on the football staff before that. Okay, so moving along, I'm going to say this. Transfer portal day. Is it a bad day? Well, you're gonna like some guys that are gonna leave. There's no doubt about it. When they first came up with this transfer portal thing, I was out of my mind. I'm thinking, what? He's a first teamer. Why would he leave? Why would all this and why would he go? He's a freshman All-American. I know he's going to Georgia. It's like, why? What's wrong? What's going on with the program? And not saying there's something wrong with the program. Not saying there's not. We don't know. And I think that's the greatest conclusion that I have come to. We don't know what is going on. We don't know who's talking to these young men. We don't know. I know this. that Michael Laughlin is going in the transfer portal. And I'll tell you, I don't think he'll mind. I don't think that, J.J. O'Laughlin is Mike's father. And he wrote me a little text. And he said, hey, man, thanks for everything and your support for Mike. Mike's had a tough time, man. 3 injuries. Oh, that's like Taj Alston. And like, it's like, well, I love him. If you follow me, I love the tight end. I think it's one of the most underused positions in all of college sports, including West Virginia. But I'm not sitting there harping. It's everywhere to me. Not everywhere. Some places certainly use it, and I show examples. But regardless, Mikey, man, just a special kid, 87. I watched him. I watched him grow up. He was a wide receiver. He's 190 pounds, man, maybe 195. Maybe I'm short in 5 pounds. And he's leaving here at 260. And he was good enough to play in the NFL. Now, I don't know what his injury is now. I know he's transferring, so it sounds to me like he has hope of continuing that play on. And I think he can if he's healthy. I think he's one of the best tight ends in the league. Blocking wise, he was nails. And so I told his father, JJ, I said, listen, you tell Mikey, okay, unless he talks to me. I haven't talked to him recently, but he said, you tell Mikey that whenever he returns to West Virginia, that he needs to return with a big old smile on his face, and all will welcome him back because he had a wonderful, honorable, great career. And I said honorable. You know how I know that? Because I watched him play. I watched his film. I could get into it, and maybe we went on the road. Hey, should get into the Three Wolves. Three Wolves of Football, my 2 brothers, comes out every Thursday morning. But get into that, and we talk about the inner things, the outer things of football. What is it? The techniques, all those little subtle things about what makes a player. And with Mikey, a lot of stuff made him a good player. And when he threw him the ball, I think he only had 2 drops. I can remember in recent matter, maybe he had more. Maybe I'm being a little bit nice on him. But you know what? I watched this young man grow up. And just because he's transferring out because it's, 3 injuries, and there's a lot of luggage there, a lot of heartache. Sometimes you need a fresh start. But it breaks my heart. Not that he's leaving because he was injured, because I think and know he had this talent to move on. But I told his father this, regardless of whether he plays another down of football in his life, he's going to be extremely successful, because that's the kid he is. That's the young man he is. Excuse me. Sorry, Mikey. I'm calling him a young man, boy, but I still call him Mikey. Well, that's just the way it goes. Apparently, I put a Y on everything. I don't know. So I think I got it from my mother. But regardless, what a great job he did for WVU. So good. Go get a fresh start, brother. I'm behind you. We have the transfer portal today. Oh, surprised by this one, Reese Smith. Kentucky boy, right there. I saw him. He's gritty. I loved him in the slots. I don't know why he's leaving, but we just don't know why. We don't know. We don't know what his home life is. We don't know Homestead. We don't know if he's got a better deal somewhere. I don't know. But I can't be mad. See, I told you, I go back to it. I was angry before, or maybe not angry. I was hurt that they would leave my alma mater. I would never leave. Although I'll tell you a story about that one day as well, as I came close, even back then, because that's the problem. Because, at this one point in your career at a college, you're going to want to leave. There usually is. Very rare. There's not a point where there's adversity raises its ugly head and you have to come back, and in my case, raise my ugly head right back at it and look at it and say, not today, man. Not today, because I'm going to beat you today. And then tomorrow, when it raises its head up, I have to raise my ugly head up. And I say, not tomorrow, not now, not ever. And you keep doing it in a daily battle until you beat it, until you defeat it, until it becomes home to you. And apparently, that it's easier to get out now. And I'm okay with it. But why fight it? Why get upset? Reese Smith, man, I think you're a strong character, young man. I think the times are that if you're not happy where you're at, you're going to go ahead and get out. Brother, Thank you for the time. I still remember that end around reverse against Army. We won the bowl game because of you, brother. Because of you. I think you were in for 13 plays that game. But that one was the game winner that we beat Army in the bowl game. So thank you very much. Man, it's Mountaineer. I appreciate it. And then you got, of course, Will the Goose Man Crowder. You know, and I always called him Clam Chowder. You know, I was always afraid when I was go out there and be on the radio or on TV, I'd say Clam. I'd never been to say it. So now that he's leaving, I can say it, but I say it with affection because I think he's really special. I called that ESPN Plus, that spring game with Andrew Caridi, and Will had the best day that day. And he's got Division I talent. I don't know where he's going to end up. I don't have any idea, but I wish the best for him because he is a baller, man. Straight up Alabama baller, and he's going to find a spot. And I know because I have known him behind the scenes, off of the fields, outside of the white lines. Will Crowder, man, I'll tell you what, that's going to be another successful kid, just like Reese Smith, just like Mike O'Laughlin. Hate to see him go, but guess what? It's time to go. It's time. Bryce Ford Wheaton is declaring for the draft. It's your time, brother. Yeah, you're supposed to play 4 or 5 years here. Not really 5, but I don't know. Things are all screwed up. But you're supposed to play right now 4 years and then move on, man. You're ready. 3rd in the country and contested catches, man. I'm going to tell you this. BFW. I'm going to tell you all this. I came up with that name. I gave him the BFW. Yeah, you can ask Jedley about that if you don't believe me. But BFW, I'll tell you this. When he wants to be the man and he commits to be the man, there are few defensive backs that could stop him. Remember that, BFW, at the next level. Remember that, because I believe you're going to be attached to the next level. I really do. So remember that. And listen, this is the grandson of Garrett Ford, one of my mentors. I mean, Coach Ford, my gosh, you know what? He got me through college at WVU, man. You know, and then of course I blocked a little bit for BFW's uncle there, Garrett, their junior. So I got a long connection back there, and I know Tracy. Tracy was a WVU track girl, which is Bryce's mom back here. So it's a long tradition, man. You're royalty, brother. Royalty, stills, royalty, all that. You're all royalty. And I love you guys. It's like Bulgers. Bulgers are all royalty. I see Megs. I give her a huge hug. I see Mark. He's not so much for the big hugs. All right. It's okay. That's all right. Neither am I with Mark. It's good. Love Mark Bulger. I'll tell you what, that guy is all Mountaineers. He's all military. And what a guy he is to respect and be proud of the military and support them. But he's also that West Virginia guy. What a proud WVU football alumni. You know, I put out a tweet just a couple days ago. I was watching I think it was a Saturday, watching Purdue play Michigan for the Big Ten championship. I'm looking, I said, well, that's my brother down there. That's Dale Williams. Dale, as I affectionately call him, Meat. He's been offensive line coach at Purdue for 6 years. He was my backup to me. He was a freshman and sophomore when I was a junior, senior. So we used to go and Friday nights before games, whether it be home or away, he was my roomie, man. And I always ruled the TV. We didn't have our phones back then like that, or we didn't have the cool stuff. You know, it was the TV at Lakeview or whatever hotel room we were at. So Dale, Meat. And I call him Meat. I don't know if he will like that now out loud in public, but he's still the Meat to me. But he is an accomplished Power 5 offensive lineman in the Big Ten championship game against Michigan. And he has always done very well wherever he has been. Meat, I love you, brother. And that's what I'm about. I'm about our alumni. And I got to tell you stories about these guys. And I can go through Pat White to Danny Moses, down to Owen Schmidt, the bear truck himself. Got stories about that guy, right? Unfortunately, he's got stories about me as well. So that's why I don't tell too many about him. It's such a brotherhood, man. And that's who we are. And so we're going to be okay, WVU. We're going to be all right. It's okay. Put that tweet out. Yes, I'm honored that I played here. Honored. And I'm honored to keep fighting, even though Football's taking a toll on my body, man. And I'm still here in spirit. Still here in spirit. And nobody can take that away from me. Nobody can take the gold and the blue out of me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who comes along. Really happy we have a new AD now. Really think it's a great opportunity, transfer portal day. And I think it's really important to say, what are our goals? You can't just go ahead and say, let's win, man. How do you win? Well, when I look at the NIL and I say we have to win and strategically, and I think of how can we help? How can an old man help? I just had a post, and I'm referring to a lot of posts here because it brings up all my memories. But I just had a post about Major Harris. I was on the field playing for him when he was the first quarterback to throw for 5,000 yards plus and run for 2,000 yards plus. The first in NCAA history. The first. Pat White was the first quarterback to start and win in 4 bowl games. And some even count the Senior Bowl out there for that. But I'm saying for WVU, first quarterback in history. We make history at West Virginia University. And so here's what we have to do. Today's the first day of transfer portal. Reese Smith, Goose, Michael Laughlin, Moo, all you guys are leaving. Sorry you're leaving. Sorry it didn't work out here for you. See ya and good luck. And if you need anything, give me a call. I'll help a brother out. But now, who's coming in? Who's coming in? Who's going to take that mantle? Who's going to say, follow me, boys? Lee Colba did this year. Linebacker, right? He was just a one-year guy, first guy in. He came this year, said, let's go. Let's go. Let's fight. Hate losing Dante, but he's got to go make some money, man. That guy, you want to talk about loyalty and royalty for WVU? Gary Stills, the father. Darius Stills, oldest brother. And, of course, Dante. The Stills, you got Janine, the mom. She's as much involved in WVU as anybody. Anyone. That's the type of people we have. Mountaineer Nation is going to be okay. That's why I'm getting so many people say, Wolf, transfers are leaving. Yeah, did you see Florida's today? I think they had a list of between players declaring for the draft and the transfer. They had a list of like 24 and growing. Oh, I think we went through that last year, though. So maybe this year will be better. I have no idea how many people are leaving. In fact, I even I gave a text to Keenan Cummings, who's my favorite recruiting guy. You know, if you're not Keenan Cummings, you're not my favorite recruiting guy. I'm sorry. Keenan's the man for me because he works the hardest, in my opinion. No hit on anybody else. I said, Keenan, I said, what do you hear? Is it going to be a bloodbath tomorrow? And he says, I don't know, man, because I don't worry about it. So many people say they're in, so many people say they're out. It doesn't matter until you see the actual result. And when I used to do the West Virginia signing days, like in December or the first Wednesday in February, I would always wait till a week before to see who really was serious. Because these kids are 17, 18, 19 years old. And I'm not going to sit there and go 5 months or 2 weeks, whatever, or anything in between, preparing for them who may not show up. For the last week, now I'm cramming like crazy. I think Jed is already preparing for like a month or whatever. Jude always had everybody down, and here I am cramming a week before. Just for you, Mountaineer Nation. Just for you. And the bottom line is Neil is the head guy. And I've spent more time for somebody from the outside. Not this year. I left WVU in April. Haven't been back. But this year, or the 3 years beforehand, I was there every week with him for 1891 Club, his own personal club. We did an interview. On the radio show every Thursday night, we did the radio show. I know this guy can coach. I said it before in my WolfMan's call. Things have to change. I'm not going to get all rosy. See, the reason why I came out with this WolfMan's call, because I want to make the call. I'm going to say it like it is. And like it is like it is. And like it is that this WVU football season was not acceptable. Just like Major Harris breaking records. Just like Pat White breaking records, just like Danny Moses being the one and only ever Remington Award winner at WVU. Just like all those guys, Daryl Talley will give you the biggest smile in the world and tell you how much he loves West Virginia. There's only two people alive that have their numbers retired at WVU, football numbers, and that's Major Harris and Daryl Talley. And they're two incredible Mountaineers that support. They're both on Mountaineer Legends pregame. Why? Because is it great for them? No, it's because they love WVU. They love WVU. Brian Joswiak, man, you ain't going to find another bigger dude that's raw, man, that's getting in there, bust your head against the wall. Big Joe's, man. He's got passion that oozes out of him. And Aaron Beasley, Mr. Cool. Well, all these guys, they saw, there are things that could be better. We're expecting Neil Brown to make some changes for the better. And we will be here to support him. So regardless, Mountaineer Nation is everybody's watching to make improvements. Neil Brown knows he needs to win the transfer portal. Neil Brown knows he needs to win NIL. And that's where we come in to help. That's where we're going to. And we're going to announce it. We got this really cool thing. And it's going to be on me as well. Not just you or you or you or you, me. Because that's what we have to do. Whatever it takes. I said in my post this series, whatever it takes to return to glory. Maybe that's the new, at least that's my new cry. Whatever it takes to return to glory. Because we had glory, and we have had it, and we can go down to these. You can go back to the 50s, the 60s. I can talk to those boys, and they tell me, Wolf, all the time, you wouldn't believe the 69 Peach Bowl guys. They are probably with Coach Bowden. They'll tell you how much they kicked everybody's cans down there. Andy Peters will tell you how much he kicked everybody's can. And I watched film, and they did. There's a proud tradition for WVU. No one's talking about, well, you know what? A lot of people that talk right here, they don't play, or they haven't played. Maybe they don't know. I don't know. Because when I was in the offensive line, and I had Kevin Koken at Ohio State with 90,000+ people telling me in the end zone, as a freshman I was, don't mess it up. It was a TV timeout. I'm looking around. I'm like, is that your words of encouragement? My first time out in a major thing as a freshman, second game of the season. We played Ohio U at home, but we weren't at Ohio State. We weren't at the Buckeye place. And Kevin Cody's like, don't mess it up. Well, guess what? Sometimes I messed things up. Sometimes I didn't. But I understood the rules of the game. The rules were here. The standards here. And that's what we got to get back to. So whatever it takes, NIL, transfer portal, X's and O's. If a coach needs this, I'm there for support. If a coach wants that, for Brian Joseph. If we have to go and get a young kid somewhere down the road, wherever, all legal, whatever it may be legal, let's do it. Let's get them. Let's go get them. Watch out, man. I'm coming out, even if it's raining. And my body's hurting, my big can is moving that way towards getting that goal done because it's here, it's time, it's now. The times have changed. You had COVID, you had the NIL, you had the transfer portal. Great. So did everybody else. Great, whatever. I don't care what's happened the last 4 years. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is what are you going to do now? Are you going to sit there and be negative and say, woe is us, we suck? Stand up, man. Pull your pants up and stand up. And have stand up, woman, whatever. Stand up all. Suck it up. It is what it is. We can't change the past, but we can change the future. We can change the future. Yeah, I hear you. My dog's going, yeah. He agrees with me. I think he hears me preach a little bit too much. So I'm going to get off the preacher wagon. And I think about time that I go ahead and get out of here. So what time is it here? It is 6:46. Let's go down here to the questions. We got Coach Chris. Wow, thanks, man. Thursday night, 7:30. So that's Coach Chris, Thursday night, 7:30. I'm going to screw it up again, but I think it's something about on the court. Not on the hard court. No, it is the court. Let me tell you something. He interviews people from all sports. It's not just, he is a basketball coach, but when you're a coach that long and as much wisdom and experience as he has, you're a coach in life, man. That's what it is. Maybe we'll do a segment on that. I'll have Coach Chris on. I call him the old baller, man. Old baller. Hope you're not listening right there. All right. So here we go. Keith Hawkins. Yeah, Coach, I love the show. Oh, Keith is. Oh, he's saying I'm on fire. Love the Mountain Passion. Yeah, Keith, I am on fire right now. I do feel it. I'm ready to roll. It's transfer day, portal day. Gives us a chance to win. A chance to win. And it's all about the stories and the memories. Yeah. You know what? It is about the stories and the memories there. And I got to tell you why it's about the stories and memories. Because it was something of importance. I can remember to this day, 30 plus years ago, E.J. Wheeler going ahead and tackling the Pitt dude in 1990. 1990. The Pitt running back on the 1-inch line. And if Pitt would have scored that, they would have won the game right then and there. E.J. Wheeler laying out, doing a Superman, and beating Pitt by an inch. Wow. If you can't think that that's huge. All right. EJ, you got to start watching. You got to get back you back. You're up there in Mars, PA, right there by Cranberry. We got to get you back in the groove at WVU. Calling all former football players, alumni, get in touch with me. We're going to do something special in January as a group for NIL for Country Roads Trust. It's time to get the Country Roads Trust. It's time for us to get behind it. Time to support our young brothers, our young Mountaineer brothers. Time for us to make a difference. You know, we can all sit here and complain, but we're not making a difference. It's time, my Mountaineer brothers, to make a difference for our young Mountaineer brothers. Time to support Neil Brown and his coaching staff and get them what they need to do to get the job done. Time to start setting history once again in a positive way. Anything else? I guess that's it, my friends. That's been the WolfMan's Call. Transfer Portal Day. Remember, Tom Bradley will be coming up. You don't want to miss that. Dude is good. Dude is good. Again, 1986, he recruited me to Penn State. God bless you all. Always remember this. Hail, hail, West Virginia. Boom! God bless you.